All right, so you just bought your first serger, the brother model. We're looking at 1634 as the model, DX. You'll be able to see that on the front and you'll be able to see that on the back. So you just bought this thing, you need to know how to thread it. This is the video for you. If you missed something, just hit rewind. I'm just gonna be doing more like a follow along. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so first things first is when you start threading this, you always wanna make sure that you're coming from behind. So you're coming from the back side of it, you're pulling this through, and then you'll see the number right beside it. We're going underneath, and then we're bringing the thread through. That's how it's going to look on all four of them. So usually what I do is I'll start off by just doing that to all four so we can already have them set, and then I'll just kind of let the thread just lay across the serger until I'm ready to move to the next step. All right, so I just took a dry erase marker and put some numbers right above the knobs. Why are these numbers here, you may ask? Because this is the order that we're going to be threading. So you don't thread 1, 2, 3, 4. The serger has to be threaded in a specific order. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So just make note of that. So very important to note that before we actually start threading these through, we want to set every knob to 0 here. This is the tension, so we want to set all the tension to 0. Once we get all of them through, then we'll set all of them between 3 and 4. That's usually the default tension to have this at. So remember, before you get started, set them to 0. After we finish, we could set them to 3 and 4. Depending on what you're sewing, that may change, but if you're just a beginner, let's just set it to 3 and 4. So we are going to be starting with the teal color, labeled number 1. I'll put a picture of that into this video. You're going to be coming through this hole here that says number 3. We want to pull it through. Set this back down. All right, so we're going to be pulling it through this hole here for the teal on number 1. It's going to say number 3 on there because that's the third step. So once we get that bad boy in there, we are going to open up, pull this out, drop it. Everything is numbered. You'll see that the steps align with the colors. With the teal, we're going to be following the teal or green, whatever color you want to call it. We're going to be following the steps. So we are going to be pulling down through number 5 because this is the 5th step. Probably should have got a different colored thread, but we should be able to get it done with this. Step number 6, you'll see that we have, let's see here, you'll see that we have these two items right here. So you'll see a blue circle and a green circle. We're going to pull the thread behind the big piece over to the green part. So I'll show you how we do that. Also, forgot to mention, you should have some tweezers that come with the serger. So this will be a lot easier if you want to use tweezers, or some people like to use their fingers, whichever one works for you. But we'll be pulling this behind and then kind of just sitting it to the side over where the green is. But once you get it through here and we get it through this next step here, we're going to take it from here to here, here to here, and then we're going to be staying to the right of everything, bringing it here past number 7. You'll see the numbers, and then number 8 tells you to put it in the hole, so you'll see it here, right here. All right, so just take your tweezers, put it through that hole, pull it through, I'm going to pull that all the way through, and you want to make sure once you pull it through that we put it underneath the foot. So just kind of put it there, put it underneath the foot, and we are done with number 1. All right, so we're working with the dark blue. We're going to, once again, put it through the hole. You should have this part kind of down packed by now. Put that through the hole. I'm going to bring it through here. All right, and again, we are following the blue line with the steps on it. Here in this clamp, we are now coming all the way across. You're going to meet back where you're seeing the blue and the green dot on this thing here. We're going to go underneath. Let me go down a little bit. We are going to go underneath both of them this time. All right, so we're going to go underneath both. Zoom in a little. All right, so we're going to come underneath both of these, and then instead of going here, which is where the green arrow was shooting for that first one we just started, we're going to go through this one here right beside the number 8. So you'll see this down here at the bottom. So after we put it into this loop here, this is actually step number 9. So what we do is we pull that to the side. I've already pulled it to the side. So what happens is this will come out. All right, so once that comes out, let me see if I can get a little bit closer. You will see this little triangle. Can I get in there? There we go. So you'll see this triangle piece here. What we're doing is taking a thread and taking it around this triangle piece. And then there's a small hole that's here. So once we take it around that, we're putting it into this tiny hole here. So let me do that. All right, so we got it around the triangle. And we are now putting it through this little hole. Okay. And once it gets through there, you're gonna have to it's kind of tight back there, so these tweezers really come in handy. You just want to pull it to the back as much as you can, and I always just take my finger and just pull it through. All right, and then we can give it a little push. Make sure this is out of the way of all of the machine here. All right, and we just kind of, once we get it through that hole, we just pull it through the back, make sure the foot is up. And we just want to pull everything underneath the foot and as much to the back as we can. All right, so we are done with number 2. And that is actually the toughest one. So everything here is, from here on out, is smooth sailing. So we're going to continue on. We are moving along to number 3, which will look like the pink or darker pink, whatever you want to call it. We are coming through the top as we normally do. All right, so this is kind of like a regular sew machine right here. So we are going to come underneath this metal bar here. Once we pull that through, we are coming underneath this metal bar. We're coming all the way past the numbers. So we'll be in the loop area now. We are now coming around. Make sure you stay on the right side. It'll show you that in the colors as well. Make sure you stay on that right side. And once we come back down, this is going to be typically how you do a regular sew machine. You want to come behind this metal piece to where the needles are. You want to come behind, and we'll be putting it into the right needle. So once we put it into that right needle, we are going to get it back enough to where we can kind of finagle it out of the way. Perfect. And this will also be going underneath the foot. So once you get it like that, just put it underneath the foot. And now we're done with that one. We are on the last thread, which is one of the easiest ones here. So let's bring it down. Again, follow the colors. This one will be the yellow/gold. We're going to take it underneath. We're going to stay on the left side this time. We took the pink one through the right side, so we're going to stay on the left side. All right, we're going to go through the back metal loop again. Again, that's kind of like a regular sewing machine. And we are going to put this one in the left needle. So going down right side goes into the right needle, going down left side goes into the left needle. All right, we got that in. Let's pull it to the back a little bit. Move it from getting caught up in the foot. All right, and we are going to, when you're bringing it, let's see. All right, so when you're bringing it back around, you'll want to bring it around this big metal square piece right here. This is the easiest part to kind of get it underneath. Then once we do that, let me see. You can just kind of pull the thread back. So now you see all 4 threads here. Again, I wish I had different colors to do them in, but gotta work with what we got. So all 4 threads are pulled back. We are good to go. You can now close this bad boy up. Set the foot down. Also, when you're done, we can get these numbers off of here. We want to make sure we put every knob back to between 3 and 4 for the tension. And let's plug this bad boy up and try it out. All right, so now we are finished threading this thing, and we have finally got a complete outcome here. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, just drop any questions below. I'll get to you. Please follow on Instagram and TikTok. The name is Adrian Michael with 2 underscores. Show me some love, drop a comment, let me know you came over from YouTube. Just trying to get this channel built up. Just wanted to create some value to all of the new sewers out there who's getting into sergers, sewing machines, industrial sewing machines. Got a lot more videos coming. So yeah, stay on the lookout.